Okay, everybody, this is Photoshop Day 2, Part 1 or Point 1, however you want to call it. We're going to do the clone stamp again. We talked about it in the beginning of the year. Some of you may have forgotten. Please don't worry about it. It will come back to you pretty easily. I just finished with Photopea, and it's pretty much the same. Here's our clone stamp. As you can see, I'm going right over the brush tool. You got that down. You did all your painting, so I'm not even going to go over it. So with the clone stamp, we click here. And you'll notice that we have everything like a brush tool is. It's all the same. You should know it. But here's the thing that I'm going to have you take a look at. It says sample current layer normally. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go to current and below. And what's happening is I don't want you to ruin the integrity of the actual piece itself. We will be drawing information from it and we'll be copying from it. We'll be making that decision. But go ahead and say current and below. And when you start doing anything with the clone stamp, come down here and make a brand new layer. So notice I have layer 1 and background. Background's locked, but I'm still going to draw the information from it, but it's going to be on layer 1. So let's come here. You can use the bracket keys to go bigger or smaller. You can't do that in Photopea. You have to go back and keep adjusting, but we're going to use the bracket keys. And again, you use the Alt button, and notice you'll see how it changes. My Alt button, you'll see, and that's where we're going to pick up our information from. So it looks like that bullseye again. Let's come up here. We are going to left click, and that's where my information is going to be. And as you can see, just like it was a Photopea, you can see the person's head or the young boy's head, and we just start going. The cool thing about this is that Photopea doesn't have, and again, I don't mean to compare the two, but they're very, very similar, is that if I let go, it can start up over again, and it'll start up right on the elbow. In Photopea, it starts up, and I have to readjust it. So if you are using Photopea and you're kind of going between both, that's just the difference between the two. The small, subtle things, but I would expect Photoshop to have and be better because, again, it's an actual program. It's made specifically for this, and it works out really, really well. Although with Photopea, I am truly impressed, and I still owe my son a big kudos. Notice everything that I transferred is from there to there, and if I come down to my layers, take it away, I still have the integrity of my very first, or the actually original piece, so I haven't ruined that. And that was kind of the same thing we talked about with masks too. So now I'm going to go back here and readjust. Notice I picked up everything I told it to do. Like in the other things, like in the patch tool, in the healing brush, it's the computer choosing the information for you. You're telling it its dimensions, and you're letting the computer kind of do the work. This is where you actually have to do the work, and you're telling it very specific. So let's get a little closer. We got the foot here. Notice I want to go a little farther back because I'm going to have to pick up some information over here. Okay, just one more. And what I'll do is I'll come back down here. Let's go to our cloning tool. I want to make this smaller. I'm using the bracket key. I can come up here and change it. Oh, I come up here and I can change it if I need to, but I just like using the bracket key, so we're good. I'm going to come a little smaller. I'm going to pick up some information about this distance. Notice the rocks are in focus here. They're not in here. I have to be very specific. If I chose here and started cloning here, it'd be a little awkward because of the rocks will be in focus while they're actually not at this distance. So hit that Alt button again. Bada bing, bada boom. I am not going to get too granular on this, but I'm getting close enough. And notice when I get to that level, the rocks look good. And I'm slowly going to take care of all that. Now there's a little white haze. I am not going to go past this just for time reasons. You don't need to hear my voice all day long. Now I can go a little bit bigger. Boom, boom, boom. Get rid of that little haze right there. And notice he's already in there. If I come back a little farther, bada bing, bada boom. And then I'd come back over here. Let's take a look here. I got a little white here on the pants. Let's go a little farther back because I want to draw some information. Again, I'm going to go straight across because of the focal. Go back into cloning. Let's hit that Alt button. Boom. A little smaller bracket, left bracket. I'm going to get closer. And notice how I'm doing that. Pick this one up here. And I'm just going to go just a little bit more, just so you can kind of see what it does. Now that one's a little bright. Oh, there we go. It blends in pretty nice. This one, because it's totally out of focus, I could have picked it up a little left. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. A little rough here, but I can go back here. I can either smudge it, or I can actually use the healing brush, which will be cool. But I want to pick up the white, and we're gonna just kind of do one of these. We just build that white and that gray, and I'm defining everything. I would go back in smaller brushes and get it done. But if you notice, boy is actually starting to fit perfectly into the picture. And again, I just got to click it, and I have my original, and it works out really, really well. So I'm very, very impressed with this, and that's how you use the cloning stamp for today. But wait, there's more. You can also do the same thing, and I'm going to go ahead and hide this layer, and we can do the same thing with actually getting rid of this person too. Like in the beginning of the Photoshop, I had you guys illuminate a boat, people on a boat, in a lake, which is pretty simple and easy. This one's pretty simple and easy too, but we can get rid of this gentleman here too. Again, make a brand new layer, and I've already hid layer number 1, so I've already layer number 2. Go to my clone stamp. Let's go bigger, and let's go right bracket. We're going to pick up over here using the Alt button. Got it. And notice I can cover him. We'll go down a certain point, pick up a little bit of that tan there, and notice, oh, he got a little carried away there. Come back up here. Alt, I'll readjust. Come here. Get rid of him there. And I can go down as far as I want. And notice how it just blends nicely. If I want to pick up the actual grass too, let's pick that up. We'll start right about there. Again, I'm holding the Alt button down and left clicking, and I can continue building more things like this. And sooner or later, he will disappear. And again, redo. Now again, we'll come here. I'm just having fun now. Forget it. We're going to keep going. If I don't want that there, Alt, come back here. Let's get rid of that there. I can adjust whatever I need. Pick this up over here so it flows a little easier. Oh, goodness. That sounds like a normal classroom where my phone goes off. But there again, if I hide the layer down here in layer 1, he's still there. And again, it works really well. You could see a little rough edges here. I'd come back here and touch it up a little bit more. But if you really didn't see me go back and forth, it would flow pretty well. But there again are the nuances. You becoming more of the craftsmanship of Photoshop and using the clone stamp. So again, eliminate something, add something, enjoy, have a good day, and stay strong.